Battle of 4A East rivals King George and Courtland. This game played at King George. Taft, very surprising. I know you were following this on Twitter, as was I, thinking that there had to be some sort of typo in this. King George, the Foxes jump out to a 19-0 lead. Courtland tries to claw back. Their comeback falls short. King George with the upset 19-14 victory over Courtland. Wow.
Yeah, I was at the Massaponax Mountain View game, and I was, like you said, following it on Twitter, and I see 6-0, okay, 13-0, 19-0. It was unbelievable. So kudos to the Foxes. I know they don't like to call it an upset, but a lot of people from the outside would call it just that.
Not too many non-King George fans would have predicted this victory, quite honestly. So congratulations to King George on this one, and congratulations to Will Clift. What a wonderful performance this young man, senior for the Foxes, had on both sides of the ball. 8 carries for 82 yards and a rushing touchdown. Defensively, he returned a fumble for a touchdown. A very versatile player, actually played middle linebacker in this game and was basically just chasing the sweeps from sideline to sideline. 16 tackles in this game for Clift as well. I'm sure he was tired by the end of the night.
Yeah, quite a performance when you look at who he was chasing sideline to sideline. When you think about the speed and the power of Blair Lawson and Victor Green and Clift being about 5'11", about 174 pounds, and having to chase those guys and having the strength to help bring them down. I know he didn't do it all on his own, but he was a very integral part of what they were able to do defensively.
He was a very integral part, and in fact, because of that, Will Clift has been identified as the Freelance Star Player of the Week. So congratulations to Will Clift from King George High School on their victory over Courtland, but also Clift getting the Player of the Week honors. Luke Barnum for King George also had a touchdown rushing. Victor Green had a nice statistics day, at least 17 carries. He had 101 yards rushing to break the century mark. You know, it's hard to contain those Cougars, but they only put 14 points on the board, and you know that King George defensive scheme maybe has identified something here that others might be looking to exploit.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what Courtland does, and you have Victor Green and Blair Lawson, like you said, running to the outside. Last year they had Anton Jenkins, a big, powerful guy running in the middle, and you couldn't really sleep on that. This year they have George Cheatham, who's a lot smaller than Jenkins. I don't think he's quite the threat Jenkins was running inside, so I don't know if Courtland might want to do something there. They have a guy, Jason Hokerson, who is that big bruising back that gets some carries, but not as much. I don't know if they're going to adjust anything going forward.
Interesting game coming up for Courtland. They are 6-2 on the season. We will preview their game against James Monroe a little bit later. King George also has an interesting matchup against Chancellor. These 4A matchups are going to be very interesting as we enter the home stretch here. But how about King George? The Foxes with the 19-14 victory over the Cougars.